Jason heard a loud bang and his head snapped towards the plane's windows. What was going on? Their aircraft was already airborne. He looked frantically at his co-pilot when a member of the cabin crew came rushing through the cockpit. A giant swarm of birds was apparently chasing and attacking the plane. And they were relentless. Jason tried to shake the birds. But he had to be careful. If a single bird would hit the engines, the whole plane could go down. The birds seemed to get more aggressive the harder Jason tried to get them off his plane. Jason had no idea why the birds were getting more and more aggressive. In the cabin, the passengers were starting to get anxious. They felt the plane dip and swerve and no one was giving them an explanation. They could see the swarm of birds through the window, acting like they were straight out of a Hitchcock film. By the time Jason felt confident enough to assure the passengers that they had everything under control, he knew it was too late. He didn't know what was going on, what triggered the birds, and what he could do to calm them down. The passengers could hardly watch out of the windows because it was blacked out by birds. This darkened the whole plane, which gave off a horrifying vibe. The passengers grew really scared. Some of them even started crying. Jason had to act fast. Jason, recognizing the escalating fear among the passengers, swiftly took control of the situation. He calmly reassured them over the intercom, "Ladies and gentlemen, please remain calm. It seems like we're experiencing an unusual situation, but I assure you, we have it under control." With a sense of urgency, Jason instructed the crew to investigate the extent of the bird interference and to find a solution. Meanwhile, he kept communicating with the passengers, providing updates and attempting to alleviate their anxiety. As the crew worked to clear the windows and assess the situation, Jason's leadership and quick thinking became a source of comfort for those on board. Jason tried with all his power to gain altitude with the plane, to shake the birds. But if he climbed too steep, it would endanger everyone on the plane. Moreover, the number of birds was so extremely high that they started to steer the plane down. Jimmy gasped when he saw buildings approaching. They were now hovering very dangerously above the city. Luckily for Jason, he could steer the plane to the countryside. He realized that it was futile to try and gain altitude. He had to get back to the airport and he had to land the plane. But how? Finally, Jason got the call to immediately turn around the plane to the nearest landing strip. Flight control had told them to redirect to a smaller airport closer to their current position. Jason did not waste any time and turned the plane around as fast as he could without jeopardizing anyone. It was now getting really dangerous. By turning the plane, they hit a couple of birds, which seemed to trigger them even more. The birds now kept hitting the plane and small cracks started to show in the windows.